Hello, like my hat? Today's tutorial is going to be the cuff for this hat. So if you're interested in making it, that's what this will be. Hi guys. Today's tutorial is the cuff of this Christmas tree hat on my pattern. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to chain. We want our brim to be 6 inches. 6 stitches deep, wide. So we're going to crochet, we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because one of those will be a turn and will not count, and that'll leave us with 6 stitches. By the way, I'm using a 7mm hook. So I'm having us close so you can see this. Oh, and you get to see my little broken nail. It hurts so bad. Okay, enough of that. You don't care about that. Okay, so you see where we're at right here? We're going to go into this stitch right here. The first stitch that you see, we're going to do 1 single crochet. That's 1. And in each little loop, we're going to make, I hope I can make that. Let's see, I want it close so you can, it won't blur with me. So the looser, the better. Don't do it too tight. So this is number 3. 4, 5, and see in the last one, 6. And we complete it. And that is our first round. Okay? And this is what it looks like in the front. Now when we're going to turn our work and we're going to chain 1. Let's see, where is my Angie? I turned it around. So now I was backwards. Okay, so we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work. Okay, this is the back side for me. This is my front side. So when you crochet the next one, you will crochet into your first stitch here. And you're always going to do back loop only. And when we say back loop only, that's a BLO is the letters that we use for that. And so we will make a single crochet in the back loop and the back loop. That's 2 of them. That's 3 of them. That's 4 of them. 5, 6. Okay, I have a tip for number 6. So instead of going into the back loop, you're going to go through both loops. That makes it a lot nicer and neater around the edge. You use both loops. And then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. And we're going to work in the back loop. Now, don't get confused. Don't worry about the previous row, because the back loop is always the back loop. Whatever loop is in the back when it's facing you, okay? So I know some people would get confused about that. I used to get confused about that. Was it the back loop that I was using last time that now there's a front loop? No, it's always the back loop when you're looking at your work. And so this is pretty easy to keep on task, because this will be 6. Counting to 6 is easier than counting to 100. You know what I mean? And you keep on track there. Oh, I did back loop there. Let's take that out. We don't want to do back loop on the last one. We want to go in through both loops on the last one. And you get into the groove of this. You turn your work around, and you're going to work in the back loop. Always working in your back loop. Okay? Until the very end, you go through both loops. And so choose your brown. Use a 7mm hook, and you can go to town. Now, I'm going to meet you here. You are going to continue making this. Now, I'm going through both loops at the end there. See, I remembered. You're going to continue making this. See what it is right here? Until it fits on your head slightly stretched. I always say a little more stretched than you think, because it does stretch on your head and stuff. So you know, you don't want it to keep falling in your eyes. My first hat that I made that was a different pattern, that I used another pattern, I made it too big. It's always falling over my eyes. So, and it's a nuisance. So I'll meet you back here. Okay. I'll meet you back here. Does it fit? Is it long enough? Let's look. Pay no attention to the hair. No, not long enough for me. And I'm stretching it pretty good. So it's coming through here. So I need a few more. And I know my head is bigger than most people. So I will come to about right here. Okay? Getting stuck. And the reason I'm making it a little smaller is because it's not for me. It's for normal people. Let's do it again. What do you think about that? Okay, now we're going to close it. All right, let me put my hat back on. I'm going to show you how to close this up. So, I always like to have this loop on my right side. I bring this other side up, and you can crochet it any way you prefer. I'm just going to go through both loops and bring it through. Hold on a second. I go through this first loop here. Let's see. Let me do it this way. I go through this first stitch here, and then I go through this first stitch here, through both loops, and I slip stitch. And then you continue on all the way. You gather each stitch together, and you slip stitch. You can do a single crochet if you want to, but I'm going to do slip stitches. And I work all the way to the top. So I should have 6. I didn't count, but I'm hoping. And at the end, you go through both of them also. Okay, now you are closed up. Okay, and there it is. Now, do you want that to be on the outside, or do you want this to be on the outside? I like to flip mine over a little like that, and that way I'm working on this side. Okay, you have this tail here. Where is it? You have this tail here from where you started. Okay, where you started making all these little rows. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make a slip stitch here. Let's see, let's make that, let's go back. Okay, so now I'm pulling the wrong one here. No wonder it wasn't tightening. Okay, so here's where you landed after crocheting it closed. You're going to make a chain, which counts as nothing. You're going to go into one of the first places you can put something, and you're going to make a single crochet. Now, I crochet into here and into here. So you have like 2 crochets that will happen in the indented part and the part that sticks out, you know, the ridge. So if you can't find it, just kind of fudge it and you can fit it. But make sure that your cuff is not, you're not going to make the top, this hat ruffly. So can you see that? I'm going to turn it around, and I'm working over my tail. So basically where you see a little opening, go ahead and put it. And we're doing it in the brown. So if we started on the green, then you would see if we messed up and put it in a strange place. But so when you go to every ridge, that's already 2 rows. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you want to do accordingly. 1, 2, a stitch here, a stitch here, a stitch here, a stitch here, and a stitch here, and you continue on like that. I'm going to work on this a little bit here while you see me, while you're watching me, and you can see how I'm going. I've been doing this so long that I really don't have to think about it too much. And look, there's that tail. I'm going to go ahead and cut the tail off. It's already been in here long enough. It's already been worked in long enough. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so for Christmas, I'm hoping for one of those neck holders for my camera so you can actually see what I'm working in and see what I'm seeing. So that might work out easier. But until then, here we go. You can watch me here. And do you see that? A stitch here, a stitch here, a stitch in here, a stitch in here, a stitch in here, but at the top, of course. So here, 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 here. I just keep saying it over and over because I know that this was a thing that I had a difficult time with. And I have somebody in my crochet meeting who's actually making this pattern. She wanted in the white elephant, and I was sitting next to her while she was working on the cuff, and she had put too many stitches in here, and so it started to ruffle, which is going to be okay if you want a big fluffy hat on top. But just to make it like how I have my pattern, you just do a stitch per row. So and that's how you tell what the rows are, the ridge and the non-ridge. And then if you can't really tell, you kind of fudge it. But the way I make you end it at the ends where you go through both loops, remember when we were going back and forth and we do back loops only, but when you end it, I had you go through 2 loops. Well, that keeps the edges nice and even, and you can, I think it's easier for you to tell where I'm going, where you need to go into, okay? So you just do this all the way to the end. Let's see, until you reach the end here. Am I coming to the end now? Almost. Look at that. See? We're coming to the end. We're going to meet up. And now we're going to single crochet into that first stitch. Yay. And we are going to chain 1, chain 2, and cut this off. Okay, and I'm going to pull that. Now, a trick is, I'm not going to leave you with the chain 2 right here. And you see, I don't know if it wants to show it or not because it wants to focus on my face. I'm going to put my thumbnail on top. I'm going to pull it down. Pull it down and it makes a knot. See that? And then you can just leave that tail there. And so this, now I'm turning it back so you can see what I was looking at. This is the top of your hat, the brim. This is the part that is the bottom right here. Okay, so that's it for the cuff. Look for my next tutorial, which will be working on the hat going up. And then I think I'm going to do it in 3 tutorials. And then the third one will be the ruffles and the beads. And then at the end, I will put all 3 tutorials together in one video. So you would have them all in one video if you want. But go make the cuff. Make several of them if you want to make several hats. Look how pretty that is.